What is up, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to another Modern Warfare Call of Duty Warzone video, man. Today we're going to be talking about 7 mistakes a lot of people end up making in this game that causes them to die, and then they blame the game and not themselves when, well, it was pretty much your fault. So we're going to get into this list, but before we do, guys, I'm going to ask you if we could get 1,500 likes on this video. That's what we're going to be shooting for. And if you're new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, to make sure to hit that button with those notifications turned on and let me know the biggest mistake you make down in the comments below. I think mine is going to be the bonus one. Once we get to that, you guys are going to see exactly what it is, and I always make that mistake, so we're going to I can't wait to talk about that one. But let's start the list off at number 1, and that is shooting too soon. So a lot of people, when you see the enemies, you don't actually plan out what to do. You see them and you just start shooting because you're excited to finally see someone after running around for 10 minutes and not seeing anyone whatsoever. But there's a lot of things that you need to know within this game. So when you see a team and you see an enemy team and they're in the distance and they don't spot you, this is the perfect time for you guys to try to get up close and catch them off guard. But if you start shooting them out from 100 meters away, you are giving them the chance to actually plan ahead and try to stop you guys from coming after them, or they could start pushing you and all that kind of stuff. So if you actually do see someone on top of a mountain, on top of a roof or something like that, and you're pretty far out still, don't start shooting because you might just cause your entire team to die. Now let's move on to number 2, and this is not storing your cash when things get too high. And what I mean by this is a lot of people, when they play this game, they don't realize that they could just literally drop their money somewhere when they think that they're alone versus a squad or something like that because their whole team is already dead. What you should be doing is dropping all the money you have before you actually go and engage. And what I like to do is hide it in a bush or something, or hide it somewhere in a building where not many people go, and then that way if you do die and you go to the gulag, once you come back, you don't have to like scramble and look for cash all over the ground to get your friends back into the game. You literally have it hidden right there. All you got to do is go pick it up and get your friends back alive. So trust me, guys, store it, put it somewhere and have it hidden so that once you actually do get back, you could get it. Now if your whole entire team goes down, every single one of you, all 3 of you, all 4 of you, and you all end up in the gulag, what you should be doing in this situation is all dropping your money in the gulag. You are able to do it. That's a cool thing, a cool feature, and give it to the player that you think has the better chance of actually making it alive, the guy who usually wins the gulag. That way when he gets back, if you all lose, if all the 3 or 2 other guys lose in there, he could get you guys back as well with said money that you guys just dropped on the ground. So trust me, if things get too hot, guys, and you know you are going to die, or you know there's a 90% chance that you won't make it out alive, drop that cash so you could get back to it. Don't let the enemies take it. Now down to number 3, we have staying on the edge of the storm. So I do always tell you guys to stay on the edge of the storm, especially when the circle gets really tight. But once the first storm starts coming in and the second storm, those are not ones that you want to stick to the edge to, especially because people are scattered all across the map. So once you stick to the edge of the storm and it's closing in, it's going to the second one or something like that, there's going to be teams inside the circle already waiting for you to get there, and there might be teams behind you, beside you, still trying to get to the circle as well. And then you're all kind of stuck in a situation where there might be a team on your right, left, in front of you, and behind you, and if you start shooting and someone on your team doesn't have a suppressor, or someone on the enemy team doesn't have a suppressor, you're all going to be seen, and yeah, it's just not going to make for a nice situation. You're going to be in gunfight after gunfight and eventually die because you will run out of that armor. And trust me, guys, when you stay on the storm, when you stick to the edge of the circle, only do that when it's in the final closing circles. Don't do that when it's at the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game, you want to make sure you're closer into the circle itself so you're safer and you don't have to worry about people coming from a whole bunch of different directions. Going down to number 4 on this list, this is a big one because I kind of have problems with this one as well. And then after this one, we'll get into the bonus one that I told you guys is my biggest issue. But at this one right here, we have flying solo. And when I say flying solo, I don't mean actually flying in the air. I mean like literally just going solo when your team is somewhere else on the map. Don't leave your team. Always try to be within, I'd say, maximum 75 meters of your team. If you're closer to them, the better. Try to stick with them. So if you do actually get into an engagement and stuff, they have your back, or if they get into one, you have their back, and it's never an uneven gunfight versus the enemies. Imagine you actually run out up ahead of your whole entire team and you're alone versus 3 guys who know exactly where you are. By the time your teammates come to save you, you're already going to be knocked, you're going to be BM'd, they're going to kill you while you're down, and it's just really not worth it at the end of the day. So always try to stick with them, have each other's backs, and not really go and stray out on your own. And this happens a lot when people are doing the scavenger contract. A lot of people just go for the scavenger, and yeah, once you get somewhere, if he runs into a whole entire enemy team, man, I'm sorry, he's dead. You guys just, trust me, stick together, and that's the best way to win those gunfights. Now, let's talk about the bonus one here, and that is having a reloading addiction, and I am kind of like this because I do always have to reload. You shoot a few bullets, you reload your gun, and then you get caught reloading, and the enemy starts shooting at you, and then you have to try to cancel reload, hide somewhere really fast, but chances are you're going to be dying in the middle of the reload, and I do this a lot, even if I have 60 round mags on my Grog class, or my M4A1, for example, or my M13, no matter how many bullets I have, the second I kill one person, even if I have 40 bullets left in my magazine, and unless I know there's not an enemy right there, I'm going to be reloading. And now, if there is an enemy there, I don't reload, I try to get him as well, but I'm always reloading my gun, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have this issue as well. Let me know down in the comments if you actually do. Now, let's go down to number 5 on this list, and that is running directly head on to the enemies, and you should not be doing that. If you see the enemies, like I said, we're going to go back to example number 1 here, shooting too soon. Let's say you see a bunch of enemies, they're all on the top of a roof, and then you just want to go get them. You try to actually go get them. Instead of running directly towards them and giving them like the easiest target alive to hit, because you're literally running chickens right there, don't do it. Try to sneak around instead. And what I like to do with my squad is I like to keep, let's say we're playing in a team of 3, I like to keep 2 guys, keeping them distracted, start shooting at them and make them like really busy, and then I go into the building, I crawl up the stairs, well, not really crawl, but I crouch up the stairs, or I walk very slow or something like that so they don't hear me, and then I get them while they're all caught off guard. They think that my team is all in one area, they're trying to kill them, and then you just go up behind them and get them that way. That is something you guys should be thinking about doing. So if you see you're on the ground, there's an enemy team on the ground, instead of running head on, try to go around the building and catch them from behind and stuff like that. So trust me, don't run directly towards them. It's just not worth it at the end of the day. Going down to number 6 on this list, or yeah, is it number 6? Yeah, it is. That is hot dropping. So this works in kind of 2 ways. You got the good players and you got the bad players. And sometimes if you're a good player, you do decide not to go to a hot drop, and that's okay. But if you're always doing that, you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're potentially taking much longer to get all the money you need. You're taking much longer to get the weapons you need, the armor and all that kind of stuff. And then you could actually run into a team who's already fully set up, and then you risk dying to them and getting sent to the gulag and stuff. So you don't want to do that. But then you also have the players that aren't that good who always drop at a hotspot, and you got to know that if you are always dropping at a hotspot, and 9 out of 10 times in that area, like let's say Superstore for example, your whole entire squad ends up dying 9 out of 10 games, do not continue going there. That's just the biggest clue to stop doing that. If you die right away and then you actually blame the game and you say that it's crap and you shot first and all that kind of stuff, but it's come on, just stop dropping. I mean, okay, I say that all the time too, so I can't really say much, but yeah, stop dropping in those areas. Change it up a little bit, go somewhere else, maybe go somewhere that's not marked, that still has enemies that actually show up there, just so you could actually get your practice in and shooting. That I really recommend hot dropping if you are decent, because it gets you warmed up in the game pretty fast, and it potentially sets you up for a lot of good. You could get your loadout drop really quickly, you already got a bunch of kills, you feel warmed up, and you're pretty much unstoppable once you warm yourself up like that. And the last one I want to talk about is camping at number 7, man. If you're one of those players who literally the entire game you're just sitting in one building over and over again, this is only going to get you so far. Yeah, you might kill the first team coming there, you might kill the second team coming there, but then people are getting smarter. A lot of more people know exactly where you're at. People are starting to see what you're doing, how you're playing the game, and then you're just going to eventually get like run up on by an entire squad. They're going to weaken you like crazy. Whether you kill them or not, then another squad will end up coming to get you. So guys, trust me, try not to camp in this game. You should always be moving, not like 24/7, not the whole entire game, but run from one area to the other, loot it up, get the kills you got to do there, and then move on. Don't always stay in the same spot. This is not a very smart strategy to win the games, especially since the last circle might go out of your favor, and then people are just going to be waiting for you to leave that area anyways, and it's just going to end up really bad for you. So trust me guys, don't go do that. But that is going to be it for the list we got. Number 1, shooting too soon. Number 2, not storing the cash. Number 3, staying on the edge of the swarm the entire game. Number 4, flying solo, the bonus one, obviously the reloading addiction. Number 5, the running directly towards the enemies. 6 is the hot dropping, and 7, like I said, the camping. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, we're going to go for 1,500 likes on this one, and if you guys could let me know something that maybe I didn't mention on this list whatsoever, let me know down in the comments below if you have another mistake that you do in Warzone all the time that potentially leads to your death. Now guys, if you could subscribe to the channel, we're nearing like pretty much 33,000 subscribers away from 600k, so if you could hit that, that would be cool. Thank you for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.